Hey guys, our decline here, average picker. So, you can see probably over here on the edge, I think we're about to make another attempt on West Coast picks Herod lock. But I thought I would just show these. I picked up a few of these the other day, just kind of found them. But yeah, these are Schlegs, I think, and they're out of a Schleg, I think, knob. So not a handle or anything, just like a kind of house knob. And I just thought it was interesting at kind of how dumpy they sort of are. If you look up here, I mean, the spring is just exposed all the way around. I don't know if it's focusing that well for you. And they're basically just crimped on very barely at those little channel points there. And that leaves this whole thing just very kind of sprung up. And then I guess when it's inserted in the knob, that's going to collapse enough to be in there and sit like that. But yeah, it's just so weird. It seems like it's just ready to fly off. The other thing that was interesting about them, though, is the warding or the lack of. So the key is fairly standard, kind of Schleg cut, it looks like. I have to try it out. I wonder if I have another. Do I have a Schleg just sitting around? Let's see what we got real quick. Don't know if I just have a Schleg laying here. Might be one in the other room. But yeah, the key cut seems to be just a fairly standard cut. There's a challenge lock. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, it's fairly standard, just Schleg cut key. But our keyway itself is really kind of missing most of the warding, and it is so fat. How fat is it? Well, that's what, a 0.05 tensioner, and that means it also keeps falling out of there. It just does not grip very well. So what I think I might do is turn these into challenge locks, and at least one of these I'm probably going to try to bevel into, just to make that even more pain in the butt. Because as Fast Charlie knows, I kind of have a thing for just making them hard to tension and get tools in to work with. So hopefully a little spiky 2 will turn up soon on one of his videos and you'll see what I mean. So yeah, anyway, it's a kind of a dumpy little lock, but semi-interesting, and just how kind of dumpy and springy and no warded that it is. Anyway, let's get on to Herod. Okay guys, so if you notice now, it is dark outside and it is quite late at night and I'm quite tired. But we're going to try to get through West Coast Picks' Herod lock again, and this one thwarted me the other day. Thought we'd come back to it. Yeah, so I started to film earlier, and then dog came back from the park with people, and the day just started happening. So did not have a chance to do much more than just barely start to film the video. So I don't know, we've got maybe a minute or two on this lock. It's going to be unseen. We'll see if we can get a good pick on it now. We're using the full dent from Sparrows, and I don't know, we may end up switching picks. If we fall into a particularly deep false set, especially if it's like a drunken, full dent doesn't do so well at pulling out of those. So we may end up switching in that case, but otherwise it's a pretty nice pick. Okay. A little bit of a false going on. I'm basically just may have just overset 3 or 4. 1 and 2 still have a ways to go, but I just nudge them and then I go back to the back to check to see where we're at. Okay, and we have fallen into a bit of a false there. So I think we're pretty close. I think we had this false last time though too, and this is where I might end up switching picks. Sorry for getting a little tiny bit more rotation there. There we go. I'm not sure where quite that was hanging on. I was kind of surprised. I was sure we had one set. And I hit it again, and we got a little bit more movement, so I just started kind of probing between pins 1 and 3, and that's when we had it kind of fall open. So we do have a key, and it is mummified. Let's see what we got here. Actually, if we can just... There we go. Okay, so we're pretty equally sawed across that thing. Smoothy smooth. Okay, let's see what we got here. Man, I tell you guys, I'm glad to get an open. I felt like I'd been on a rough streak for a minute, and my picking was kind of going downhill a little bit, and then I was already feeling that way, and then I had those 2 thwarts in a row. I think this was one of those 2, actually. It just kind of became a, what the heck. But that's what happens. It goes up and down. I have been trying to put a little more time in, practice-wise. Okay, so we had a 6-pinner. Not a huge surprise. Kind of seemed like it was, but I knew as soon as I said it was a 6-pinner, it was actually going to turn out to be a 5. So, okay, so 6, kind of a deep serrated, another deep serrated. Looks a little bit tapered, little gently tapered spool. Another double serrated. Single serration. Man, that's a clean one though. 2 is just got a very classic, very, very classic little look to it. Now let's see what's in the core. Okay, and we do have threading. Let's see, do I have, where's that pick I like to use? So yeah, we do have, we've got an undercut on 1, it looks like. Threading on 2. Undercut on 5, and threading on 6. Let's see what we got going on upstairs here. Okay, that pounced right out on us. And we've got a very nice pin and pin immediately. And, oh gosh, yeah, so here we go. We've got another pin and pin. Hey, nothing, I'm doing a video. Did you need something? Another pin and pin. looks like we do have, let's see, maybe spring out. Okay, so we will get the camera flipped around here and see what's going on. Okay guys, sorry about that little interruption there. So if we look upstairs here, we can see we do have some threading in chamber 2. It's hard to see back in the back of the others. We have some light threading here in 6 though. Go ahead and see if we can pull that out. And yeah, so yeah, it's hard to see back in there. See what's going on. This guy was in 2. Let's take a look at the pins, okay? So there's our 6 key pin. It's just a really nice tight little double serrated kind of time bomby looking guy. Double serration and a single taper and a double. And this is the guy I was saying, this is just nice single serrated, kind of very classic-y pin there. And this is like our number 6, but just, well, not quite. It doesn't taper, I guess, but just one big single serration there on him. But look at all this pin and pin work. So we've got pin and pins in drivers 1, 2, 3, and 6. And so we will bring these up and take a look. Oh, I had it right in there and then I didn't. So the shear line would have been down here though, and this guy, they're all coming out. He just doesn't want to turn correctly. They're all pretty much coming out like that. So yeah, across here you can see this would be our shear line and how they were all coming out. So there's our number 2. Very nice little work. Number 3. I don't feel so bad now getting a thwarted on this one. And so there's our really deep guy. So he was at 4. I think we had actually nudged past him already though and had him set. This is what I kind of was expecting to see a little more of. And I was sort of expecting something similar but without the spool element somewhere in, probably right around in here in 2 or 3, just from where he last fell open. That's kind of, it fell open similar to doing the tip of one of those. And then pretty much a T-pin there on 5, and because, you know, all those pin and pins weren't enough, he pulls another one on us on 6. So I don't know. I think maybe it's the spring it was paired up with, or we just got a little lucky on 6. Don't feel like I had to deal with 6 to the extent that that pin would suggest. But anyway, guys, there we go. I'll zoom in a little bit, give you a last little look at it. Was nice to get that picked. So West Coast Picks, thanks for pinning that up. And Herod, oh man, I can't remember now if Jeff sent that one or if that came in off Bear's back. I think that came in the Jeff box. But both of you guys have kind of saved my butt now, so I will thank you both. So yeah, there we go, guys. All right, have a good night.